Well, good morning. It is Thursday, and today's the day for a little run test. And I'm doing it with my new toy, the Stryd running power meter. It's fitting. I just got it yesterday, pulled it out of the box, set it up, and we're going to see how it goes. Alright, so a little bit on the power meter itself is it's hooked up to my Garmin 920, and it was pretty easy to pair. No real issues. All I had to do is figure out the Garmin itself. Maybe you can see the readings. It's showing my heart rate right now, which this Stryd monitor does, and then it'll give me cadence and power. And essentially, unlike on the bike where power is everything, you want to get to maintain the highest power you possibly can over whatever period of your ride or your race is. In running, it's kind of the opposite. You want to be able to run with the least amount of power. So in other words, use the least amount of effort to go as fast as you can. And so that's what we're going to measure today. We're going to take a first measurement of my power, see where it is. My testing, I use a MAF heart rate test, which is you can search Phil Maffetone and find out the protocol and how he does it, or how he suggests. So I do the Phil Maffetone approach to my run testing just to see where my aerobic fitness is. I use the road right outside my house. Tracks are quite available here in Southern California, but very difficult to get onto. It's a good chance they're either locked up or they're guarded and you'll get kicked off. So instead of stressing about using a track, I use the road right outside my house. It's flat, there's no cars on it, and for about 30 minutes or so I can handle running back and forth on the road. That's my test. It'll be a 30-minute run test. The goal is to see basically how far I can run in 30 minutes at my prescribed aerobic heart rate, and then get a power reading from it and figure out what to do with power after that. Just one note on my Saucony Triumph ISO 2. I did go with a medium weight sock. Seems to be the best fit for this shoe. You can see right here a perfect lacing pattern. It's not too wide. This eyebrow is not too wide, and it's not crunched up narrow, which I think indicates anytime you do a sleeve, which the ISO fit is a sleeve, you are going to take away a little bit from the midfoot. So people with super high insteps they're going to struggle fitting into this shoe just because of the sleeve itself. But that's it. Do a run test. Okay, the run test is complete. I think the numbers will show that I'm probably 20 to 25% slower or more out of shape than I was the last time I took this test, which was probably 6 or 7 weeks ago. Everything's connected to my Garmin Connect on my iPhone, so I'll just give you the numbers. My average heart rate was 132, which is right on the mark for my aerobic heart rate. My cadence, and what's interesting about this this whole power meter is that it connects to the Garmin through the bike mode, because the bike mode has power and cadence and heart rate. The run mode only has pace, cadence, and heart rate. So I lose pace in using this, but I think I can live with that if I can use power and time run and cadence and heart rate. So it's just an interesting, it's a totally different dynamic than running by pace. Don't know if they did that on purpose or if that's just what I can get on the Power 920. But it's an interesting mix, and that's what I'll be reporting on from now on. So my average heart rate again was 132. My cadence was 159, which means I'm running at about 80 steps per minute on each foot. There's a lot of schools of thought on what's best in terms of cadence. You'll hear a lot about 90 steps per minute, 90 steps per minute. That's the ideal cadence. We're going to see, because what the power meter will show is what's the best cadence for my body type and my gait. Again, the whole idea is to run with the least amount of power at the fastest pace, or fastest average pace that you want to run. And cadence will be a subset of whatever that is. Right now, cadence is 159. Don't know if that's good or bad. It just is what it is. My power, and what's interesting, so my average power was 213, which is really interesting because that correlates directly to this same heart rate and power reading on the bike right now. So I did a little bit of a test yesterday on the bike at the same heart rate. Did like 3 by 5 minutes just to get used to riding the bike again. And my average power was a little bit lower. It was 208 or something like that, but at the exact same heart rate. So I find that interesting that my run power and my bike power are the same right now. But what we want to do is go in the opposite direction. We want the bike power to go up and the run power to come down, if that makes any sense. More report on the shoe. It seems to be softening up. So we got 3 runs or so right now, and it seems to be softening up. I won't do a flex test just yet. I'll give it another, like I said, I said 4 or 5 runs, or 6 runs or whatever. So I'll run the rest of this week in the shoe, do a flex test at the beginning of next week to see what happens. Hope everybody has a great Thursday and rest of your day. Talk later.